Hey, what's going on guys? Arekkz here. Welcome back to another video for Monster Hunter World Iceborne. And in this one, I want to talk about the developer diary because they just dropped it, it's just finished, and there was so much cool stuff to talk about. Of course, the focal point was Alatreon, but we also got a second new monster, which is Frostfang Barioth, a brand new Barioth special variant. It is not the frozen Barioth that a lot of people thought that was from Monster Hunter Explorer. That is not the monster that is coming to Iceborne. This is a brand new one called Frostfang Barioth. Plus, we're also going to look at the upcoming summer event and the future roadmap to talk about what is coming after this update. So, lots of exciting stuff that I'm going to wrap up in this video. If you guys do enjoy it, then a like would be super appreciated. Comment down below, let me know what you guys think of these updates. And of course, be sure to keep it locked because next week Alatreon drops and I'm going to be covering all of that, so you definitely won't want to miss it. But let's start at the top and let's start with Alatreon. As mentioned, this drops next week, July the 9th, and just like before, if you guys have fought Alatreon in previous games, you'll be familiar with this. If you haven't, then you are in for a world of hurt. Alatreon is the master of elements. It can switch between different elements, and of course when it does that, its attacks change, its appearance changes, and its weak points change. One of the new noteworthy moves they've added for Iceborne is that whenever it changes elements now, it kicks out an incredibly powerful shockwave that will, as they demonstrated in the dev diary, do a lot of damage. So basically, if you want to stop this, you have to go up and attack Alatreon with elements. Effectively, it's kind of one of those sort of like a good offense is a good defense because you kind of want to knock it out of it to stop it from dishing out the Nova, but otherwise you're going to need to try and heal through it because yeah, that's a lot of damage, let's put it that way. But main thing worth noting, of course, is that it is going to be a heavy elemental fight. I mean, yes, of course, you can go in raw damage, yes, you can go in with your slicing shots or whatever you want to do, but generally speaking, they are designing it because they want you to just use elements against Alatreon, and that kind of goes hand in hand with its armor set because the armor set looks fantastic. Again, if you've seen Alatreon armor before, you'll know it already looks cool in the past, but it looks amazing seeing an Iceborne. And yes, we do have all the nice weapons. There are no horrible, well, I mean, I say there's no, we haven't seen all of the weapons, but given that they showed quite a few of them, I think it's safe to say there are no bone iron variants. We have the nice longsword that looks like a scythe. We have the awesome greatsword. There's a cool light bowgun, heavy bowgun, stuff like that. And I mean, I can't wait for the sword and shield. The Alatreon sword and shield was incredible before. I definitely want that. But what I do want to talk about is the armor because this has got an incredibly interesting perk. So the set bonus skill for this is Alatreon Divinity. And the wording for this is really interesting because your armor's elemental resistance, not your elemental attack, but your elemental resistance will affect your weapon too. As you can see in the diagram they have on screen, as you raise your elemental resistance, your weapons will get stronger in that element too. Now this is incredibly exciting. Of course, they didn't go into detail on it and I cannot wait to test this next week. But if you pile elemental resistance in and that increases your element, I want to know what happens when you then have elemental attack as well. Do these things stack? I know, of course, up until this point, we've always dealt with, an elemental cap. Whether that still applies or whether Alatreon allows you to go beyond that, honestly, I don't know just yet. That's incredibly exciting, but it also kind of puts value back in actually gemming in resistances. Up until this point, you're just like, I don't need to be resistant to this. I'll just make sure I don't get hit. But now if you can pile into resistances and you make yourself stronger in the process, ooh, that is going to be incredibly exciting. So yeah, definitely can't wait to check that out. That is something I will 100% be doing some testing with. Obviously, we always do that anyway. When the monster drops, we jump in, I make the armor set, go through the weapons, make videos on those ones, but I definitely want to do some in-depth testing for this to see just how good that skill is. However, turn your attention to the second monster, Frostfang Barioth. Again, a brand new variant, a special variant of Barioth, and this one has a much more rugged look to it. In fact, it's basically got a beard, which is awesome. Maybe it's the Barioth they made for me. Anyway, that aside, it's got this kind of rugged look. They said they kind of described it as if it's been like out in the wilderness for a lot longer. It's kind of survived through harsh conditions and whatnot. And you can see that, it's covered in ice. It's of course got like the much more frozen looking tusks as opposed to typical, orange glowing tusks. And with this one, the breath has been strengthened so it can actually freeze the ground. So I guess, Shrieking Legiana style and whatnot. So you do need to kind of, watch out for that. They said behavior-wise, it is of course similar to Barioth, but it does of course have some new moves and definitely watching out for that frozen breath is going to be an important thing. However, to do attention to the equipment, they said while traditional Barioth armor is quite light, they wanted this one to have a more knightly feel. So this one has got that kind of frozen, almost sort of Death Knight look to it. You've got this really, really cool helmet. Loving the kind of armor plating on this one, definitely looks awesome. And they said for the set bonus for this one, a couple of different things. You can equip just one piece from this gear to get Punishing Draw. That is the one piece set bonus from this. And if you equip 3 pieces, you get Slugger Secret. So no brand new skills, but the fact that you've got some of those on a kind of lower barrier to entry, like a 1 piece and a 3 piece set bonus, that does mean it's going to be kind of pretty viable when it comes to mixing your sets. They also said that when you do fight this, it will appear in an event quest and it will be a tempered monster. Following on from there, just a few notes on the updates. They said when one of the kind of upcoming updates, for those of you guys jumping into the Guiding Lands, they are now going to be adding the feature whereby you can go to the Elder Melder and you can craft special tracks. So if you want to call out a monster specifically and you haven't got special tracks for that, you can go and craft them and that will just make your life easier. You do have to have met the monster before to unlock the crafting option, but once you've done that, say for example you were like, oh I really want to fight a Devil Joe but I haven't got any special tracks for it, you can just go and make them. Following on from there will of course be the Sizzling Spice Fest, which is the carnival themed summer festival, new outfits, new armor, all that good stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff in this one. I'm loving the armor. It's kind of got that sort of Aztec feel to it, or that sort of kind of carnival feel to it. I really like it. I think it's super cool. The helmet on the male armor is very, very awesome. The Poogie costume looks fantastic. It is basically Kuliaku carrying an egg, and the Poogie is the egg. I mean, it's great. Super inventive. There are also snowmen as well, desert-themed snowmen, and of course this time around there are plenty more event quest items, some fun items. There's a faux Kelby, there's an Abdenoth helmet, there are mug-shaped dual blades, so if you want to go and attack people with loads of beer, then you can do that. There's also default clothing layered armor, so you can basically look like you're not wearing armor at all. There's rabbit ears, there's the gold monkey helmet. There's a lot of cool stuff to get. However, it doesn't end there. They then give us a quick look at the next update, which I'm going to assume, I mean, they haven't said anything just yet, but I'm going to assume the next one may well be the final update, because if you look at the typical timeline for Monster Hunter, you know, World got a full year of support, and we are closing in on the end of the year and whatnot, so I feel like we are at some point getting towards the general end timeline of Iceborne. Quite when that will exactly be remains to be seen, but they did say that in the next update, there will be a returning monster. There will finally be Master Rank layered armor, and there will be another festival. Now, if I had to hazard a guess, if there's only going to be one more monster, maybe they're going to kind of round it all out and drop Fatalis. That would be incredible, but honestly, at this stage, that's just up in the air. It's all speculation. We'll have to wait and see. But for the dates, for those of you guys that want to put it in your calendar, again, Alatreon next week, July the 9th. The Summer Festival will then be on July the 22nd and run until August the 6th. And when the Summer Festival ends on August the 7th, Frostfang Barioth will begin as, or will kind of be available as an event quest. Keep in mind Alatreon will be a permanent addition like the other monsters have been, but Frostfang Barioth, it sounds like, will just be an event quest, so get it while you can. But those are the dates to keep in mind. So that's everything we have for the time being. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. What do you think of Frostfang Barioth? What do you think of Alatreon? What are you most looking forward to over the next few weeks? Let me know down below. And of course, be sure to keep it looked next week for plenty more Monster Hunter. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video. Don't forget, if you haven't already done so, you can join the Arekkz Gaming Discord. We've got an awesome community over there with so many different channels for you to chat loads of different topics and different games. I'm in there, the team's in there. If you guys want to chat with us, find people to play with, it's just in general a great place to be. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to turn on those notifications so you don't miss any of our future uploads.